Evening all, and welcome to another episode of Straighten Your Crown Tarot. Just checking my microphone's on and it's working. Yes, it is. Right, before I start, I've got some thank yous to give out. Someone sent me this. It was an anonymous person. It was from my Amazon wish list. Natural household cleaning. Which it's on my wish list. Someone sent it, but there was no name attached to that. So if you know who you are, thank you very much for that. And we have, this was sent to me quite some time ago from Coyote, and I put it to one side, and I have been meaning to give public thank you for it, and had literally forgotten all about it. So I've picked this up today, remembered that I'd got it. So thank you, Coyote, for that. I have actually been reading that today. Very interesting topic. I'm hoping to bring I Ching to you at some point when I'm confident enough to think that I think I know what I'm doing. This other gift was 2 tarot cases gifted to me by Jane Tipper. I've already got some cards in there. I've got my Rider-Waite tarot cards in there, and I've put my Fairy Oracle deck in there, my Brian Froude's Fairy Oracle deck, which I don't bring out very often because it's a very precious deck to me, but it's also quite flimsy, so I don't want to wear it out. Thank you very much. All the names from all the people who send me gifts go into well, I've got a little box for them all, and I send good vibes out to you every single week as a thank you for that. Right, this reading, it could have been a number of readings I could have done for the first one of the week, because there's so much to choose from. And actually, I could sit here all day and churn out readings, but I just don't have time with me being working as well. So this reading is going to be about the emergence of the far left in this country, and I'm going to take a little look to see if the far left are likely to have a lot of success with that. Right. So why am I looking at that? Right. Well, we've got Zara Sultana MP has broken away from the Labour Party. She has quite controversially publicly stated that she's starting an independent party, and Jeremy Corbyn is going to be the co-chair. Then Jeremy Corbyn said he didn't know anything about it, and apparently reportedly was quite furious about that. And then yesterday, hey presto, we see them sitting together on the back benches. Today it has been reported that this Jeremy Corbyn's party, whatever they're going to call it, some suggestions have come through right-wing media, Jezzbollah, because of their affiliation with the pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas lot. The reports in the press today are that they have an approval rating of 18%, which is huge. It's absolutely huge. So I want to have a look to see if that momentum is going to continue upward. So the cards for today are the Thoth Tarot by Alistair Crowley and the Predictions Oracle deck by Trisha James Oracle. So straight away I'm yawning. And I'm being told, breathe. You need to breathe. You need to learn to breathe. I think that's probably because there is so much going on right now. It's been like it for quite some time now. That it's like you hardly get a minute to breathe before even more news comes out. That just as you think you can't get any worse, and then even more news comes out, and it's like, no one's stopping to take a breath. It's like no one's stopping, and I believe that's Parliament as well. No one's actually stopping long enough to take a breath, revise the situation, look over what you've done, what you've said, that kind of thing. It's like we need to take a breath. We need to take stock of everything that's gone on, lay it all out, and be determined to see the bigger picture. So we've got all these breakaway parties now. There are several independent MPs, many of whom are affiliated with the pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine agenda. They didn't get their seat on local issues. They got their seat on their opinions about what's going on between Israel and Palestine. And then you've got the far left Labour people who think that, you know, you can just carry on taxing people until they've got nothing left, and that's okay because they haven't really sat and thought about what you would do if all the millionaires and billionaires, the people who pay over 60% of the tax revenue in this country, what would we do if they all left? And actually they're leaving in droves. They're also good advocates for shutting down free speech. Not their free speech, the sort of speech they don't want to anybody else to say, anything that disagrees. It's very studenty politics. So we've got solution to the problem, and we have moon, no, unclear. So judging from these two, I'm going to put those like that. I think in many respects, this far left amalgamation of individuals all vying to start a new party, which they're well entitled to do, feel that they have a solution to the current problem. The current problem being people have nothing. And then we've got moon, no, unclear. It feels like there's quite a lot of stuff going on in the background. The moon obscures things from vision. The moon hides things. The sun illuminates. So we've got a no. It's unclear. What's unclear? It's unclear. Is it unclear how well they're going to do? I don't actually know. So I'm going to take some tarot cards and see what tarot has to say about the whole thing. I think they are going to be pretty popular amongst the young, particularly those who are educated in university. Obviously, those who've been educated in our school system for any length of time are going to have these ideas about politics, and left-leaning politics is rife in the universities, it's rife in the hospitals, it's rife in the in all our institutions, and people's workplaces, particularly those who work in the public sector. It's rife. Too many. So we've got, first of all, we've got the 3 of Cups, and we've got the 5 of Cups. So it feels very much off the bat that this party, or the beginnings, the makings of this party, has all been sort of brought together on an emotional note. It's emotionality rather than rationality here. A lot of this is brought about by the welfare bill and that kind of thing. So we've got this 3 of Cups. So we've got this. Hey, we've got a solution to the problem. Jeremy Corbyn's teamed up with Zara Sultana, plus et al, plus others. Maybe others will deflect to this new independent party at some point. I don't know. is definitely a real rival to Keir Starmer. If 18%, they have an 18% approval rating. I'm taking from the 18%, although I can't be absolutely certain, that the 18% or 18% approval rating from Labour voters or left-leaning voters. Now, I was a Labour voter right up until 2016, but Labour was a completely different baby then, or should I say, it wasn't showing itself to be quite as Marxist as it is. Maybe it was quite Marxist then, and I didn't notice it because they did it quite well. But this party is really not a very good party at all. They're not very good politically. They're not very good intellectually. They're letting everybody down. So we've got this. We've got a solution to a problem. We're going to bring in a new left type of politics with this new party. Hooray, aren't we fantastic? And then we've got disappointment in the middle. So I'm wondering whether this 18% approval rating is just basically because the unions are on board with it, which obviously they're a very strong. They are a very strong supporter, proponent of the Labour Party, big donors and all that kind of thing, possibly leading to disappointment to the current Labour Party in office at the moment. But still, with this disappointment and this sorrow together, the Three of Swords, heartbreak, sorrow, you've got, it's almost like, it feels like a non-starter. There's all this good press about, having 18% approval rating, but it feels like it's going to struggle to get off the ground. I think it's got a lot of initial approval. I'm wondering where they've been conducting the polls, because these cards aren't telling a story of, success really popular. It's not feeling popular. I think they might be legends in their own minds, but I don't think they actually are legends in the public mind as a whole. And then we've got Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, which is an ending. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is also a gamble. So I'm wondering here, I'm feeling very much like there's this sort of initial celebration, if you like, but it's quite short-lived. It feels like it feels like this is gonna fizzle out. They've taken a gamble, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be quite so far-reaching and popular as people are expecting. But it's also disappointing in a way to the right, because in lots of ways, people talk about people splitting the vote and all that kind of thing. Well, this will also split the vote, and if these actually end up, we're going to have to be really careful here, because if people who are typically on in the centre or lean slightly towards the right just want things done right, we are likely to lose out in the polls, because these people have got allegiances with others. So if ever there was a time to use your vote, it will be whenever you get chance to vote. So then we've got the Ace of Cups. So between this abundance and disappointment, we've got an ending like a non-starter. It's like a firework that fails to ignite, sort of thing. And then we've got disappointment and sorrow. I think there's a lot of it feels like there's going to be quite a few negative knee-jerk reactions to this party, because out of this formation of this party, I don't believe they've got even a name yet, but out of the formation of this party comes a new potential. But it's for politics based on emotion, and this is where we need to draw a line. Politics should not be drawn along the lines of emotion. It should be drawn along the lines of the security of the all, the protection of the all, the will of the many rather than the few. This is all based on emotion. This is quite a dangerous party. And I'll tell you something else, if they're at 18% and it grows any more than that by another whatever local election, general election, this lot will find other people to go into coalition with. This lot could be in power. And then we've got the Hanged Man. Self-sacrifice. I think this is what it's trying to tell us. It's trying to tell us to watch our step, because if I think the message here is to go out and vote whenever you get the chance to, and to encourage anybody you know to go out and vote. This is a two-way street. If people who want to see change that's going to affect us all in a positive way, that's going to go down the lines of doing the will of the many rather than the few, then we need to be going out and voting in huge numbers, because this lot will go out and vote in huge numbers. They're backed by the unions. They'll hear it through the work, through the university, through the schools. It's basically indoctrinated into them. You know, this has been a long time in the planning, a long time in the making, and if we're not careful, we will end up with a Jeremy Corbyn government, Jezzbollah, and then it's game over. But we also need to look at it in another way, from a different perspective, in other ways, because this new party could be sacrificing the entire Labour Party for 100 years. No shadow of a doubt. If a party like Reform win, or maybe the Tories decide to become Conservative again, I think they've shit the pot full. Actually, to be honest, I think Labour have actually shit the pot full. I don't think this party is going to get too far. I think your bleeding hearts all want the Lib Dems. The Lib Dems may well do a deal with the Greens and this lot in order to get into power. But whichever way it happens, we need to be getting out and voting in numbers. But it does feel like this split in the party is going to lead to some form of downfall. They're not good cards. We've got the Three of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Then we've got the Three of Swords. We've got fate. It's a gamble. There's a potential for this new way forward, new type of politics, but it's driven by emotion. And it feels very much like this is going to be a situation of self-sacrifice. So let's have one more Trisha James prediction card and see if these tarot cards marry up to... You watch, it'll be one that says there's going to be a plane crash or something. Explosive situation. Yeah. It is going to shake things up. It really is going to shake things up. And you know, this is a young person on this card. It reminds me of a student union type rally, you know, where emotions are high. It's based on emotion. This party, the politics of it all, are led by emotion. That's not a good way to do politics. But then we have young people who are very much led by emotion. It's unclear where it's going. They think it's a solution to a problem, but actually it's really going to put the cat among the pigeons, probably going to split politics on the left and totally obliterate the Labour Party. The Conservative Party obliterated themselves. The Labour Party are imploding. And what remains are those out on the fringes, your independents, your Palestine MPs, your far left MPs, and those that don't wish to see this country progress. They don't wish to see fairness. They want to see things done based on emotion. It's not. There's no moral in any of this either. There's no morals in this. It's all based knee-jerk reaction, emotional politics. Not a good way to go. Because when you lead politics by emotion, that's when you can press a button for a nuclear warhead and start off complete chain reaction. This is where this party can land us. So we have to be careful. Anybody who's like-minded, push them to use the vote. I think there needs to be a massive campaign now to get the people who were complacent last general election to actually go out and vote. We've got a lot of people coming into this country who are being brought in purely for their vote. It's no solution to a problem. Right, so that's Jezzbollah for you. I could think about which I'm going to pick up for tomorrow night, because I could pick one of about 50 different topics. But so the likelihood of Jeremy Corbyn, Zara Sultana's new independent party of going forward is very likely. However, it would not be good news for the country. So we have to bear that one in mind.